Sue Kino is here from Kino Cozy, where I got to see the struggles that lawyers face every day drafting documents, right? And so we felt like if we could bring together the best brands that are in the drafting space, we could build a unified way of working. And then we moved forward and said, let's take a crack at improving how lawyers do transactions and built a transaction management platform. Then we acquired the first ever AI due diligence product, Kira, which is still a top right quadrant product, and we just had a great release coming into ILTA for that. Got really motivated by data in 2019, so somehow we saw that data would be a big thing for our industry, and we acquired Foundation. And the Foundation is the cornerstone of our business. It is the bedrock of what we're building our future on and how we think all of you compete against each other. It's not on drafting products, it's not on how things look. It really is how do you harness your client data to predict the future or to do the work. The Foundation for us is the cornerstone of the future of work. And then we got to think about what the direction we want to go in, and I came back and I'm really motivated by helping law firms grow top-line revenue. I'll explain why in a second. But I'm really thinking that's the next generation of stuff that we got to solve for. Right? We're going to do different things with automation, different things with AI, but that's going to leave a gap going forward. So that's what brings me to the modern law firm and what I want to talk about today. There are a lot of pressures out there, right? All of you are experiencing various things from startups calling you every day. A lot of them are here. Please spend time with all of them because that is the future of where we need to go. And many of them have some really visionary ideas, and we should be spending time with a lot of them. There's policy changes coming from this city and others alike. Just today, right? We have the National Guard showing up. How are your clients working through these changes? How are you as a firm located in these cities working through these challenges? These aren't things that many of us thought of, right? We didn't think about COVID, we went through that, right? We didn't think about all these various pressures that pop up every day. And then in the middle of it, someone decided in the Bay Area to go build LLMs and launch AI. Just the chaos continues. And all of you are under undue pressure to figure out the path forward. Many of you have been in this industry for a long time and continually to evolve with these changes, but at some point, it gets really hard. And right now, I think what's difficult is competition in legal is the toughest it's ever been. A partner can leave a firm with 2 associates, get some AI, and compete against you overnight. Right? Those weren't the situations that we had a while ago. So how are you a law firm that is competitive for the long term and not just for the short term? Meanwhile, we're seeing stats around how much cross-sell is not happening at law firms. After 10 years of being a leadership role at a software company, we're close to $300 million today. In 10 years, how many times do you think a partner of a law firm has called me with an idea of more work? 0. On a really good year, when we're doing acquisitions, I'm spending $10 million on legal fees. That firm has never called me to help me with my Kosovo compliance matters or Sydney issues. There's so much unvended work sitting out there that if your partners just did something about that, you would naturally grow your top line revenue. So this idea that we've been thinking about, defining what our belief system is for this industry. It's this idea of a maniacal client service. This is a mirror of how we view ourselves today. Now, when I came back, I recognize many of you have experienced maybe a suboptimal Litera for a couple of years. And for us to get back to be leading, we had to get maniacal internally about customer service. And to do that, we had to think of things differently. Number one, how is AI going to help us with our customer service? Not get AI to improve profitability, but how is AI going to help us with customer service? So what can we do to automate some of those tasks to free up mind share to focus on customers, right? And then number two is, how do we focus on the craft? And how do lawyers really do what they want to do? I went to law school. I was a lawyer for a handful of years. My first year, I bait stamped documents. That world ended, right? If you talk to other lawyers that are more seasoned than me, they were stuck in closets doing work. Every generation goes through this change, but I don't think any of us went to law school to do the job of what a first, second-year associate does at most firms. We just didn't. And that's why you're seeing a mass exodus of people leaving the practice of law to go start software companies to solve the problem that they were working on manually. Can I do it with technology? Because it's such a mundane thing. So what can we do to help lawyers and partners actually focus on their craft? Because essentially, what you want to do is focus on relationship building. I think lawyers and partners should spend their time with their clients. I think that's just a smart idea. Whether that client is a business, whether that client is a government, or that client is a husband and wife doing estate planning, the more time they spend with their clients and less in front of a computer screen, I think that's better. That's just better for society and better for where we want to go. Otherwise, what's the point, right? At some point, you can just have AI models arguing with each other, and the needs for lawyers diminish over time. I think the answer is get them back to the town hall, get them back arguing in front of the Supreme Court, get them back doing the job they went to law school for. And that's where the modern law firm should be headed. It's not just thinking about automation day in and day out. So to get there, let's automate the tasks that are easy. All of us at ILTA as vendors are talking about this box right now. It's the easy thing to do. This will get done. We're going to do some of it. Competitors will do some of it. New entrants will come in and automate the mundane tasks and make them just easier to do. So I'm not worried about that. We're doing a good job here. The next piece is we have to bring knowledge to the center of the equation. Right? How do you bring knowledge to the end user when they need it the most? Will be a critical piece to this equation. And then finally, selfishly I put this here because we offer this, proactive relationship management. How do we help partners engage with their clients in a way that's easier and automatic? If you ask any partner in your law firm, they're going to say, business development's my number one thing I have to do. I love these tools, let's get them. The very next day they go back to their day job. Apprenticeship, checking work, following up. They're not doing BD work. I can testify as a true statement. I've spoken with partners, I've spoken to many of your chairs and asked them what their biggest problem is business development. It's just not happening. Right? There's so much unvended work that's not going on that if we can make it easier for partners that should do the BD work, help BD teams do more work with the resources they have, I think we can actually get to a point where we see increased relationships, right? That automatic blend. If you just focus on the automation, you're not going to get there. You're going to see matter prices go down. You're going to see utilization rates drop. If you don't backfill that with more work, I'm unclear how law firms compete in the long run. They're going to have to think about business development as the next frontier of serious investment. And these are the different ways you can do that, right? These are all the ways we can get back to being a proper law firm with technology. I don't think it's that hard to get to, but I think 18, 24 months from now, you will see this gap in utilization rates and in billings unless all of you go back and think about business development. Now, many of your IT professionals, you say, that's not my thing. That's for the CMO. That's for the business development office. But you're all leaders in your firms. You're tasked to bring ideas to the table. And I think if your partnership is not thinking about growth in the most meaningful way, it will get left behind. Because there are firms out there that are leaning in heavily in business development. They're thinking about this as a long-term thing of competitive angle. Because if you don't, I just don't understand how law firms can survive with so much automation coming in. Where is the next matter going to come from? Right? If you can do everything so much faster, how are you going to keep the engine running? How are you going to keep associates engaged? Because the downstream impacts of that is law schools get smaller hiring pools because you don't need the talent. I don't think that's the case. I just think there's so much unvended work out there that we have to get this right. So looking ahead, what can you expect from Litera? I believe Litera is the experience company. With foundation at our backbone, we can harness client matter data that's really important back to end users when they need it. With Peppermint and CRM, we can focus on new business, right? So we can harness all that experience to grow. But the most important thing to me are those 3 boxes. It's the same 3 boxes we've been using since 2017. Our job is to present the right data at the right place at the right time. Right data for me, it's always client firm data first, public data second. That public data is non-competitive, right? That's a non-competitive thing. Your internal data is your competitive moat. Right place, I think it's Outlook, it's Word, and one simple web page. Context switching is just not tenable this day and age. The longer we keep an end user in the same interface, higher adoption, easier training, easier onboarding, and better outcomes. And then right time, when you need it. I'll give one example. I won't steal Adam's thunder here, but proactive responses is really important in the long run. Right? If a client emails a partner and says, asks a question, that answer could be 1 to 5 days, depending on what the question is. It could be, hey, how much experience do you have in XYZ matters? How is that question answered today? Does a partner just guess, or do they go ask someone? How do they get the information? I think we can present that to them proactively. So today, with Foundation being an Outlook, we can now give you that information as the email comes in, right? So that to me is the right data at the right place at the right time. And everything that we do is on the Microsoft tech stack. We will never do anything that's outside that tech stack. Why go against the most safe, secure way that business professionals work? Why go against the leading company in this space? So everything we do is on them, right? We make Word more valuable, we make Outlook more valuable. Everything in Microsoft Word, I joke, you can Control Z. We do nothing magical in Microsoft Word, right? Everything is Control Z. You can undo anything with Litera that you put into the ecosystem. We build natively into their world. We make Azure more valuable. We make Dynamics more valuable. Everything that we do is safe and secure, built on Microsoft. And I'm so committed to them right now. So if something happens to them, we're all in trouble. But to share more about Microsoft and our relationship, I'll introduce Gbenga to come up and share a few insights.
Thanks, Avaneesh and team, for having me. I'm really excited to be here. What I'm going to do is share a bit about how the research that we're seeing in Microsoft is changing the way we work, and also the way we live and the way we play, right? I'm also going to talk about some elements of the partnership that we have with Litera. But before that, I'll just introduce myself really briefly. I used to be an engineer, and then I moved over to the dark side, started doing more business work. I'm probably one of the people who isn't steeped in the legal industry here. So what I'm going to talk about is more of research that we're seeing across different industries. But I've gone to a couple of the talks today, and it's the same story. Artificial intelligence is going to change the way we work. And if we don't move, then we're going to be left behind by our competitors. So let's start from the business case. The data that we have is showing that companies that invest $1 in AI are getting a 3x return. This was just above 3 a couple of months ago. Over the last 6 to 12 months, that has changed. And it's not different from what we saw when we're having a lot of other technology changes. When there was the adoption of the cloud, we saw that what happened was the first adopters weren't the ones who generated the most return, but over time they were able to climb that learning curve faster than those who adopted those technologies later. So we know that investing in AI technologies definitely is something that future-proofs your business. And it's actually happening even if you don't invest in it. 75% of AI workers actually use these technologies for work. What you don't want is you don't want them to be using those technologies in an unsecure way, with unsanctioned solutions. Or even worse, you don't want them to be taking some of your firm's data and using it on these platforms where you don't have the right guardrails to prevent nefarious uses of the data. And so, it is definite that this is the future, but there's actually a bigger change coming. It's not just language models, it's also the agents. Now, what is an agent, really quick, for those who don't know? Like, an agent is just a bot that can actually execute on processes for you. But an agent doesn't just execute on processes. The agent also makes decisions. And so now what we're seeing as part of the changes going on in the way we work is the fact that agents and human beings are going to be more working together. So you could imagine that we're going into a world where there's going to be an agent for everything, for citizen services, for assembly line in a manufacturing industry, and perhaps for the legal field for proposal writing or responding to RFPs. But guess what? We've gone through that change before. There was a time when the quip was there's an app for that. There is going to be an agent for that. And again, like I said, you don't want to be left behind, because this really is the future. I'm going to finish this section where I just talk about what changes are happening in the way we work by looking at some of the data that we have from a World Bank survey. So you can see there 15% of the global GDP is on digital services, and 66% of that is artificial intelligence. Again, your competitors are investing in these capabilities, and you really don't want to be left behind. At Microsoft, the way we think of the AI transformation is we've put it into a couple of buckets that we think your organizations need to win in order to successfully harvest the return on investment for these AI services. The first is employee experience. You want to make sure that your strategy is making your people more productive, more engaged, and you want to make sure they're enjoying the work that they do. Because guess what? The talent war is actually really tough. If your firm is not the type of firm where folks want to come and work at, they are going to vote with their feet. That is foundational to just the way work is now. And then the second is, how are you reinventing the customer engagement? Are you able to connect with more customers at scale? Are you able to personalize some of your connections with these customers, right? These are some of the elements that we're seeing are key to making sure that once you're making these investments, you are able to harvest what you're putting into it. The third thing I'm going to talk about is business processes. If you think about it, for over 2,000 years, we've worked just as humans, very simple machines. Over the past couple of years, we've had computers and these very complex tools that enable us to work. Well, a lot of the processes we've designed are very human-centric. They are very, take step 1, step 2, step 3, move it to this team, that team, et cetera, et cetera. Now we're going to have a situation where you're going to have agents who are working in concert with us as humans. You could think of a situation where there are going to be agents who will be part of your team. And that really is just going to change how, it's going to break all the processes that we used before. So there is really an element of looking back at a lot of the processes that we have and reinventing them. It's part of the work that you have to do as leaders in your organizations to make sure that you're harnessing, again, the ROI for the investments you're making. But you might want to ask, how do you differentiate yourself by connecting, or how do you differentiate yourselves from others? First of all, you do have to make those investments in artificial intelligence tools that enable your people. But really, we don't see it as one or the other. We don't see it as, should you invest in Copilot or should you invest in agents? And where is the human going to be? We believe that it's going to be more of a new version of what teams look like. You have Copilot, which we think of as the user interface for artificial intelligence. You're going to have agents, and then you're also going to have the human in the loop, because that is still going to be a big part of the way we work. This is not without risk. I'm sure, everybody knows that, but I'm just going to share some data that we've seen from some surveys we had for technology leaders across the world. You can see 80% are worried about what's going to happen to data. And so that's where we at Microsoft also believe that what really you need to take advantage of all these technologies is to make sure that we're providing partners like Litera a full technology stack so that they can build on it, and then you don't have to worry about those risks that we just looked through. So you have Copilot Studio that is going to enable everybody here, what we call citizen developers. It's going to allow everybody here to create their own agent. And then you also have GitHub and Visual Studio, which is going to allow more core developers to create the agents that they want. And then also, it's going to be housed within Azure AI Foundry, which really we think of as almost the marketplace of the AI world, where all these agents and all these models will be housed so you could get access to them. Foundational to everything is data. And so you also have Fabric, which is our data solution that helps to make sure that your data is available at the right place to the right people and at the right time. But all this without security and the right governance is really just increasing the risk for your firm. And so again, we make sure that we are providing a holistic system where you have different security tools that make sure that you could manage access, identity, incident and event management, and all the different things that come around with security for your firms. We really believe that by making sure that we provide these tools to developers like Litera, they can not only help to create the right tools for you, but build the right agility into these tools so that your organizations can work faster, and then you can build your own agents. Because ultimately, as I said, a lot of the processes that you had before were very human-centric, and you're going to have to make some of those changes. You might have to make those changes, do some experiments internally yourself, and then figure out what agent works best for your organization. I'm not going to sell the benefit of artificial intelligence because I believe it's still something that is evolving, and we can all see it. Lots of organizations who are using Litera's products are already generating benefit from it. Again, a lot of your competitors are already using these tools. But the thing I'm most excited about our partnership with Litera is how we're making sure that they have the full Microsoft stack to create solutions to enable you. But I'll just touch really quickly on the benefits that we as Microsoft are seeing. If you think about it, we are an organization that really develops software as our main product. Well, 30% of our software is being written with AI assistance now. And it has enabled us to ship much more products over the last year than we've done over the last 3 to 5 years. These days, I don't write my emails anymore. I tell Copilot what I want to write, reference the right document, and then it gets me a very good first draft that I can review in 5 to 10 minutes and shoot it out. That's time savings that I have to do more critical work, more knowledge work, like all the other, like all of your colleagues in your law firms. So I'm gonna be around and at the booth for the rest of the day. Feel free to come to me, ask me any questions. I'm happy to talk about this. But for now, I'm gonna hand it over to Adam. Thank you.
Hi everyone, it's fantastic to be back at ILTA and to see all of you again. I'm really excited to be able to introduce our most comprehensive set of product updates that we've ever had going into any ILTA. It's been a truly exciting time to see how our product and engineering teams have been able to come together and produce some really fantastic experiences. As Avaneesh mentioned, what we're really focusing on is making sure that our solutions are providing the right data in the right place at the right time. And what you're going to see is our commitment to that during the course of these product presentations. Last year at ILTA, I made 3 core commitments. One is around investing in our core solutions. The second was integrating our product portfolio together. And the third is delivering cutting-edge innovation. And we've been able to deliver on all 3 of those promises. And I'm really excited to show you what that looks like right now. First up is Leto. For those that have seen the lead up in terms of our announcements to ILTA, you would have seen that what Leto is our AI agent embedded in Litera One. Why is Leto different to other AI agents that's out there in the legal industry? The first years of rule-based engines and technologies together with cutting-edge LLM technology. And you're going to see that throughout the presentation around how we're taking the core engines that Litera is known for and fusing that with LLM technology, our comparison engines, our document analysis service, our cleaning engines. Second, as Avaneesh mentioned, we're putting the firm's structured experience data right at the heart of Leto, and being able to access that structured experience data and be able to use that in the course of agentic workflows is the second key differentiator. And the third is also what Avaneesh mentioned, the ability to act proactively. You get an email coming in from the client, which attaches it to a revised draft. Let's kick off a comparison workflow so that the user doesn't need to do that themselves. The agent is able to take that action. And also, if you get an email asking for things like what kind of experience has our firm got on this particular matter, you're able to kick off that workflow proactively. So really excited to introduce Leto.
The legal industry is demanding smarter, simpler solutions. That's where Leto comes in. Leto is embedded directly in Litera One, purpose-built for legal work. It interprets your intent, orchestrates the right skills, and delivers outcomes, not just answers. Unlike tools that operate in isolation, Leto is informed by your firm's proprietary data through trusted Litera solutions like Foundation, Insights, and Compare, delivering guidance specific to your firm and your matters. So if we head over to Outlook, we can see Leto is readily available. It's the compare skill you know and love, just embedded into your Outlook and web workflow. The ability to not only work within the tools you're already using, but also engage with any document to conversationally get the answers you need is all part of a seamless, AI-powered workflow that enhances productivity and decision-making without disrupting your routine. It's not just about efficiency, it's about protecting what matters. And you don't need to jump over to ChatGPT to craft a response. Again, this is where Leto engages with your emails to action the next step in the workflow. Unlike competitors, Leto has access to your firm's trusted experience data through Foundation. And again, the ability to surface the data and interrogate, it allows lawyers to provide informed responses faster. By connecting the business and practice of law, firms using Litera solutions see faster turnaround times, reduced write-offs, and stronger client service. And Leto amplifies the tools you already know, backed by Litera's 30+ years of legal expertise, giving you the right data in the right place at the right time.
Perfect. Next up is Litera One. So we launched Litera One in April this year. Litera One is designed to bring all of our products and services into the interfaces where lawyers work today. That's in Outlook, that's in Word, and that's in Web. What this is designed to do is bring the power of all of our solutions directly where people work today. We have over almost 4,000 customers that are already on Litera One today, and we've just announced in the lead up to ILTA 4 new groundbreaking enhancements to our Litera One portfolio.
Welcome to Litera One, a unified cloud interface that automates legal work from draft to deal inside Microsoft 365 in Word, Outlook, and web. Access context-specific insights about clients, matters, and relationships directly in Outlook to enhance responsiveness. Surface deal point insights and negotiation patterns in Word so associates always know what's market and can draft with data-backed confidence.
This data is coming directly from Foundation Insights into Litera One.
Curate content libraries so lawyers can add standard language to documents, or simply leverage precedent to surface clauses via natural language prompts. And insert the most relevant content with one click. Leverage Ask to catch up on document details with natural language questions and see instant answers and sources to verify.
You're also able to use the review functionality built into Litera One to dynamically look up things like cross-references and definitions directly within the document without losing your context.
When the next version of your document arrives, leverage our industry-leading comparison engine used by 75% of legal to enable comparisons in Word, Outlook, and web. Summarize changes with one click for better collaboration. Or let our brand new AI agent, Lido, that understands intent and orchestrates the right action, handle the comparison for you. Before finalizing, use Proof to proactively surface and resolve key document issues, saving time and reducing risk. Edit and insert definitions with one simple click.
And you can also use our precedent feature that was just featured in the video moments ago in order to dynamically look up things like definitions, which are shown here, and clauses from your firm's structured experience data.
And if there are any formatting inconsistencies, one click with Repair delivers a polished, professional document every time. Finally, before sharing externally, ensure collaboration is secure by cleaning risky metadata, track changes, and comments. Litera One is where context-aware Gen AI meets your experience, powering every draft, decision, and response.
So this is pulling together all the power of Litera solutions in those interfaces where lawyers are working today. One final update from us is around how we're infusing the power of Litera AI Plus into all parts of our product portfolio so you can see powerful workflow enhancements in the tools that lawyers love and use today.
Litera AI Plus is built to enhance expertise, streamline workflows, and unlock the full potential of your firm's experience. Embedded across the Litera ecosystem, AI Plus is legal-specific, context-aware, and deeply integrated into the tools lawyers use every day. Kira is the legal industry's trusted, proven, and future-ready choice for due diligence and contract review. Now Kira combines Gen AI with predictive AI, proven over 10 years and billions of dollars of deals to accelerate contract analysis across languages and jurisdictions. That means stronger trust, no manual reviews, and more ways to win new business. With Kira, firms get the flexibility to meet every client's expectations, whether that's cutting-edge Gen AI or predictive AI. Kira's new grid gives legal teams a structured, intuitive view of what's in their documents, making reviews faster and more informed. Lawyers can work from the grid to create generative smart fields and instantly turn a single prompt into consistent, experience-driven insights that they can apply to future projects. Chat with Kira to get cited, reliable answers so you can respond quickly, advise confidently, and make more time for client development. With concept search, lawyers show Kira one example, and Kira's predictive AI finds the rest, automating manual review and freeing up time for high-value work. At Litera, we are focused on developing AI that works the way your lawyers think, so you can spend less time training AI and more time growing your practice. With Foundation 365, firms can deliver exceptional client service through enhanced client relationships, retention, and satisfaction. Foundation 365 facilitates your understanding of who knows who and who's connected to whom, the depth of those connections, and trends in relationship development. The platform's AI-generated relationship reporting assists in analyzing relationship strength and trends. Foundation 365 also effortlessly keeps your CRM data clean and current with AI that discovers and updates contacts, so your team always works with the most accurate data. Litera Matter Management is a modern Microsoft native platform that empowers legal teams to manage matters with greater speed and visibility, while seamlessly integrating with how lawyers already work. AI-driven predictive analytics allow a lawyer to assess the chances of success based on matter data. Fully customizable agentic AI allows automated agents to eliminate administrative burdens and carry out work such as automatically reading court documents from your email, and extracting key dates and actions to assist in creating a matter task plan. Your firm's knowledge finally at your fingertips. With Foundation Insights, you can turn complex legal documents into structured, searchable deal data, unlocking strategic value. With the Foundation and Insights integration, you can bring the full power of your firm's experience to the table. And while we have agreement types with hundreds of deal points, you can use Deal Point Designer to customize the deal points that matter to your firm, or enlist Litera's help to create custom deal points across any agreement, anywhere you work. Foundation Scoping provides clarity and confidence for every matter, so you can know where you stand before the work ever begins. Getting data in real time allows you to do the things like spot scope creep early and set expectations with data-backed estimates. Not only will scoping help you spend less time on admin and more time on analysis, but its goal is to increase accuracy to ultimately reduce write-offs. And of course, Litera AI Plus is secure, scalable, and responsible, built on Microsoft Azure and governed by responsible AI principles. It gives firms full control with the ability to turn capabilities on or off as needed.
We're super excited to be able to get these powerful enhancements out to all of our customers. To find out more about any of these, please come see us at the Litera booth that's opening tonight over the next few days. And I really hope that you have a really fantastic ILTA. I'm handing back to Avaneesh to wrap us up. Thank you.
All right, I'm confident between you sitting here and having a glass of wine, so we'll try to wrap this up in a couple minutes. Similar to how Gbenga commented at Microsoft, the amount of releases that company has experienced in the last 12 months compared to the last 5 years. What we just did in the last 4 weeks, it's probably a decade of building at Litera. We used to release so slow. And what we just did is not a point in time, it's expectations at our business at this point. The stuff you're gonna see coming from us month after month, quarter after quarter is just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. And some of the reasons are because of this slide. This slide is from January at our company kickoff. I just came back for a couple months and had to reset what we wanted to do. And so the 4 objectives for this year for us, number 1 was experience and AI embedded into lawyer workflows. I think we just did that and we'll continue to do that. Number 2 was integrating workflows with Litera One. We had to launch the front end to get this thing real. Number 3, drafting in the cloud. We have 15,000 customers that use desktop applications to create documents. We have 200 versions of Compare in the marketplace, 100 versions of Metadac, 75 versions of Create. we need all of you to kind of start moving off into the most current version, but more importantly, get you into the cloud, because that is where Gen AI sits. And then finally, recognizing we had to fix customer sentiment. So to do this, we had to buckle down on a couple of key things. One was increasing product velocity and quality. I can't share with you what we did in this space, but we are leveraging so much AI in our development. It's crazy. I think we released 2.7 million lines of code last quarter. I think our best quarter was like 40,000 before then. I can't remember, but it's crazy sauce how much we put through the ecosystem. We have 500 people in R&D. They're worth 5,000 people now. Our costs did not go up to do this. The amount of stuff that we can do to stay competitive is paramount to our long-term success. Right? We're no longer afraid of feature functionality races. We can just build them pretty quickly. That is an investment that we did in R&D. Imagine that investment is across the board. There's a mandate at Litera that every single employee at Litera must use AI every day. And it's not like you ask one question, you get the check mark. It has to be part of your DNA. I live in Copilot. I literally live in Copilot. I go to 19 to 20 meetings every night because I read all the notes that have my name in them. And I can watch the video clip of what I missed in the meetings. We're going so much faster as a business today. And I'm proud of what we've accomplished. Our development team can go toe-to-toe with anybody in this room and around the world. 9 months ago, our development team at Litera and Litera as a whole, at AG, our PE sponsor, we were probably middle of the pack, bottom of the pack as far as how well we're pushing out new ideas. I can proudly say we're number one. We just got reviewed. Right? This is because our team took it on their shoulder to say, we need to get better, we need to get faster, and we're going to win this race. And I'm confident that they've done the right stuff. So kudos to them for getting us here in this release that we just did, because it is magnificent. Finally, it is our job and our duty to have all of you in the middle of this, right? But it has to be driven by innovation, new ways of thinking. Those 3 pillars, right, of automation, client focus, and integration only works if we center around all of you. So you should see a refreshed Litera. Some of you experienced that already. Some of you are still waiting for things to get better. It is coming. We're finding ways to re-engage with you because we're automating our life to spend more time with all of you. So thanks for coming. Appreciate you've sat through a long session here. Come check out the demo. Join the Lido waitlist. It's growing quickly, so we won't roll that out cautiously, but join the waitlist. If you have any questions, I'll be around for a little bit. Thanks again, and have a great show. Appreciate it.